I want you to imagine something. Imagine the person you trust most in this world, the one who knows every secret you've ever kept. Every fear, every dream, every stupid thing you did when you were younger that still makes you cringe. The person who's held your hand through your darkest moments. Now imagine discovering that same person has been systematically dismantling your entire life. For months, while smiling to your face, that was Emma Raywood, my best friend of 16 years. And this is the story of how she betrayed me in the worst way possible, and how I made sure she paid for it on what was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back. I met Emma when we were 14. She was the new girl at school, transferred in halfway through ninth grade. She sat alone at lunch for the first week, and I felt bad for her. She had this awkward, uncertain energy, like she was trying to figure out where she fit. So I invited her to sit with me, and that was it. We became inseparable. You know how some friendships just click? That was us. We had the same sense of humor. We liked the same music. We could talk for hours about nothing and everything. By the time we graduated high school, we were calling ourselves sisters. We went to different colleges, but we talked every single day. We'd visit each other on weekends. We traveled together. Barcelona, Paris, that awful camping trip in Vermont where it rained for 3 days straight and we nearly killed each other, but somehow came out closer than ever. We had matching bracelets. I know that sounds childish, but we bought them in Barcelona when we were 20, too. Thin silver bands with our initials engraved on the inside. I wore mine every single day. I trusted her more than I trusted anyone. And she knew that. 3 years ago, I met Daniel Carter. I was 27, working at a marketing firm in the city. It wasn't my dream job, but it paid well enough and I was good at it. Daniel worked in finance. We met at a networking event, one of those forced corporate mixers where everyone's trying too hard to seem interesting. He wasn't trying. He was just himself, quiet, thoughtful. He had this calm presence that made you feel like everything was going to be okay. We talked for 2 hours that night, and by the end of it, I knew I wanted to see him again. Our first date was a disaster. He took me to this Italian restaurant he'd read about online, and when we got there, they'd lost our reservation. We ended up at a diner down the street, sharing pancakes at 10 p.m., and laughing about how nothing ever goes according to plan. It was perfect. We dated for 1.5 years before he proposed, and of course, I told Emma everything. Every date, every fight, every moment of doubt, every moment of joy. She was always there, always listening. Always supportive. She loved Daniel, or at least that's what I thought. Daniel proposed on a beach in Maine. We'd gone there for a long weekend in October. The tourist season was over, and the beach was almost empty. We walked along the shore as the sun set, and he just stopped, turned to me. He didn't get down on one knee. He just held my hands and said, "I don't want to spend another day of my life without knowing you'll be there at the end of it," and I cried. I said yes before he even finished asking. I called Emma before I even called my mother. I was sitting in our rental car, hands still shaking, staring at the ring, and I called her. She screamed. She was so happy for me. She kept saying, "Claire, oh my God, this is it. This is everything you deserve. I'm so happy for you." She asked to see the ring. I sent her a photo. She said it was beautiful. She said she couldn't wait to stand beside me as my maid of honor. I believed every word. The wedding was set for June. That gave us about 8 months to plan. I wasn't interested in anything huge. I wanted something intimate, meaningful, about 70 guests, a garden ceremony, simple and elegant. Emma threw herself into helping me plan. She went to every dress fitting, every cake tasting, every meeting with the florist and the photographer. She created spreadsheets, she researched vendors. She was more organized than I was. I remember thinking how lucky I was to have her. How grateful I was that she cared so much, and during those 8 months, the three of us spent a lot of time together. Me, Daniel, Emma, it made sense, right? She was my best friend. He was my fiancé. Of course, we'd all hang out. We'd have dinners at our apartment. We'd go out for drinks. We'd watch movies. Normal stuff. But looking back now, I can see the moments I missed. The little things I ignored because I didn't want to believe what they meant. The way she'd laugh just a little too hard at his jokes. The way she'd sit closer to him than she needed to. The way she'd text him directly instead of going through me. Hey Daniel, what time should I pick up the party favors? Daniel, can you send me that vendor's contact info? I told myself it was normal. Practical, they were both helping with the wedding. Of course they needed to communicate, but there was something else. Something I couldn't quite name. A feeling in my chest whenever I'd walk into the room and they'd both go quiet. Just for a second, just long enough for me to notice. And then they'd smile and continue whatever conversation they were having. And I'd feel stupid for even thinking something was wrong. I'd been cheated on before, in college, by a guy I thought I loved. It destroyed me for a while, made me paranoid, made me question everything. So when these little doubts started creeping in, I pushed them down. I told myself I was being irrational. Insecure that my past was coloring my present, that Emma would never do that to me, that Daniel loved me. I convinced myself I was the problem. It was February when I first asked Emma about it. We were at her apartment, drinking wine and going through seating charts for the reception. Daniel was working late, and it was just the two of us. I tried to sound casual. Do you think Daniel's been acting weird lately? She looked up from the chart, confused. Weird how, I don't know, distant maybe, like his mind is somewhere else, she laughed, not a cruel laugh. Just a light, dismissive laugh. Claire, he's planning a wedding and working 60-hour weeks. He's probably just stressed. Yeah, you're probably right. Are you okay? She asked, leaning forward. Is something bothering you? I looked at her. My best friend, the person who'd been there for everything. And I almost told her, almost said, I think something's wrong. I think something's happening that I can't see. But instead, I shook my head. No, I'm just being paranoid. Wedding stress, you know. She reached over and squeezed my hand. Everything's going to be perfect, I promise, and I believed her. Because why wouldn't I? March came and went. The wedding was 3 months away. Daniel started working even later. Some nights he wouldn't get home until after midnight. He'd say it was a big project at work, a new client. I didn't push, but I noticed other things. The way he'd take phone calls in the other room. The way he'd close his laptop when I walked into the room. The way he'd started password, protecting his phone. I told myself I was imagining things, that I was letting my anxiety get the best of me. But then one night in early April, I woke up at 2 a.m. and Daniel wasn't in bed. I found him in the living room, sitting on the couch in the dark, staring at his phone. Hey, you okay? He jumped, actually jumped, like I'd caught him doing something wrong. Yeah, I'm fine, just couldn't sleep. What are you doing? Just work emails. He locked his phone and set it face down on the couch. Come back to bed, I said. He nodded, but he didn't move right away. He just sat there for a moment, and in the dim light from the street outside, I could see something on his face. Guilt, or maybe I imagined that too. The next morning, I did something I'd never done before. I waited until Daniel was in the shower, and I picked up his phone. My hands were shaking. I knew his passcode, had never hidden it from me before. It was my birthday. But when I typed it in, the phone didn't unlock, had changed it. I heard the shower turn off, and I put the phone back down, my heart pounding. Why would he change his passcode? I didn't ask him about it. I don't know why. Maybe I was afraid of the answer. 2 weeks later, Emma called me. Hey, are you free for lunch tomorrow? I need to talk to you about something. Is everything okay? Yeah. I just want to run something by you, wedding stuff. We met at a cafe near my office. She was already there when I arrived, sitting at a table by the window, stirring her coffee absently. She looked nervous. What's going on? I asked as I sat down. She hesitated. I don't really know how to say this. My stomach dropped. Just say it, I think. I think Daniel might be having doubts. The world tilted. What? I don't know for sure. It's just, he's been asking me weird questions about marriage, about commitment, about whether I think people can really be happy with just one person for the rest of their lives. When did he say this? Last week? We were grabbing coffee after picking up the invitations, and he just started talking about it. I think he's just stressed, Claire. Cold feet, it's normal. Did he say he doesn't want to marry me? No. God, no. Nothing like that. He's just being philosophical or whatever. You know how guys get. I didn't know what to say. I probably shouldn't have said anything, Emma continued. I don't want to freak you out. But I thought you should know. Maybe you should talk to him. Yeah. Maybe I didn't talk to him. I was too afraid. Instead, I started watching, really watching, the way he'd check his phone constantly, the way he'd smile at messages I couldn't see, the way he'd come home smelling like perfume that wasn't mine. When I asked him about it, he said it was probably from someone at the office. They'd been doing a lot of client meetings, and I nodded, and I said, okay, and I hated myself for not pushing harder. It was late April when everything fell apart. Daniel was supposed to be at a work dinner, some client thing that was supposed to run late. Emma had texted me earlier asking if I wanted to come over and watch a movie, but I'd told her I was tired. I decided to take a bath and go to bed early, but around 9 p.m., I realized I'd left my work laptop at the office. I needed it for a presentation the next morning. So I got dressed and drove into the city. The office was mostly empty, just a few people working late. I grabbed my laptop and headed back to the parking garage, and that's when I saw them. Daniel's car, parked on the 3rd level. I almost kept walking. Almost told myself it was a coincidence, that maybe he'd parked here for the client dinner, but something made me stop, made me walk closer. The windows were tinted, but I could see movement inside. 2 people. I knocked on the window. The movement stopped, and then the door opened, and Emma stepped out. Not Daniel. Emma. Her hair was messy, her lipstick smudged. She stared at me. I stared back, and then Daniel got out of the driver's side. He said my name, Claire. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I just stood there, looking at the 2 people I loved most in the world, and I felt something inside me break. Emma started crying. Claire, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This wasn't supposed to happen. We didn't mean for this to happen. Daniel reached for me. I stepped back. How long? My voice didn't sound like mine. They looked at each other. How long? 3 months, Daniel said quietly. 3 months. The wedding was 2 months away. I'd been planning our future while had been sleeping with my best friend. I turned and walked away. They called after me, but I didn't stop. I got in my car. I drove home. I sat in the dark. And I didn't cry. I just sat there, numb, trying to understand how this had happened, how I'd missed it, how they could do this to me. Daniel came home around midnight. I was still sitting in the dark. He turned on the light. Claire, we need to talk. Get out, please. Just let me explain. There's nothing to explain. Get out of my apartment. It's my apartment too. Not anymore. Get out. He stood there for a long moment, and then he left. Emma texted me 37 times that night. I didn't read any of them. I blocked her number. I blocked Daniel's number. I sat in the dark until the sun came up, and somewhere in those quiet hours something changed. The numbness faded, and in its place came something else. Something cold, something patient, something that whispered, "They are going to pay for this." The first few days after I caught them, I barely functioned. I called in sick to work. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I just existed in this strange, hollow state where nothing felt real. My phone kept ringing. Daniel, Emma, Daniel, Emma. I unblocked them just long enough to see the messages piling up. Daniel's were practical. Cold, almost. We need to talk about the apartment. We need to cancel the wedding. Claire, please respond. We need to handle this like adults. Emma's were different. I'm so sorry. Please talk to me. I never meant to hurt you. You're my best friend. I love you. This is killing me. I read them all. And I felt nothing. That's what surprised me most. I thought I'd be devastated, crying constantly, unable to function. But instead, I just felt empty, like someone had scooped out everything inside me and left behind a shell. On the fourth day, my sister called, Rakshal. She lived 3 hours away, married with 2 kids. We weren't super close, but she cared. Mom told me what happened. Are you okay? I'm fine. Claire, are you okay? I started crying. I don't know why. I hadn't cried since it happened, and suddenly I couldn't stop. Rakshal drove down that same day. She brought groceries. She cleaned my apartment. She let me talk and cry and rage. What are you going to do? She asked. I don't know. Are you going to cancel the wedding? I guess I have to. Have you talked to them? No. Claire, you need to. You need to get some answers, some closure. I don't want closure. I want them to disappear. She was quiet for a moment. That's fair, but she was right. I couldn't avoid this forever. So on day 5, I unblocked Daniel's number and texted him. We need to talk tomorrow. The coffee shop on Grant Street. 10 a.m. He responded immediately. I'll be there. I didn't sleep that night. I kept rehearsing what I'd say, how I'd act, whether I'd scream or stay calm. But when I walked into that coffee shop the next morning and saw him sitting there, looking tired and guilty, I felt nothing. Just that same hollow emptiness. He stood up when he saw me. Claire, thank you for meeting me. I sat down without saying anything. He sat across from me, his hands wrapped around a coffee cup he hadn't touched. I don't know where to start, he said. How about the beginning? When did it start? January, 5 months ago, 5 months of lies. How did it happen? Does it matter? Yes, he sighed. We were working on wedding stuff, just the 2 of us. You were at that conference in Chicago. We were picking up the invitations, and afterward we got dinner. We started talking, really talking. And I don't know. Something just happened. Something just happened. That's your explanation. I know how it sounds. Do you love her? He didn't answer right away. And that was answer enough. I don't know, he finally said. I think so. Maybe. I'm confused, Claire. You're confused. I never meant for this to happen. I love you. I do. But Emma, there's something there. Something I can't explain. Did you sleep with her in our bed? No, never. I wouldn't do that. Oh, well, thank you for that. How considerate. Claire, please, please, what Daniel? Please forgive you. Please understand. Please make this easier for you. I just want you to know that I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you, but you did it anyway. He looked down at his hands. What do you want to do about the apartment? He asked. You can't have it. I don't want to be there anymore. Are you sure? Yes. And the wedding? Cancel it. I don't care how. Just cancel it. Okay, we sat there in silence. I really am sorry, Claire, he said quietly. I looked at him. This man I'd planned to spend my life with. This man had made me feel safe and loved and seen. And I realized I didn't know him at all. No, you're not, I said. You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference. I stood up and left. That afternoon, Emma showed up at my apartment. I don't know how she knew I'd be home. Maybe Daniel told her. She knocked on the door. I didn't answer. She knocked again. Claire, I know you're in there. Please. Just let me talk to you. I opened the door. She looked terrible. Pale, dark circles under her eyes, like she hadn't slept either. Good. What do you want? I just want to explain. There's nothing to explain, please. Just 5 minutes. I stepped aside and let her in. She walked to the middle of the living room and turned to face me. I don't know what to say, she started. Then why are you here? Because you're my best friend, because I love you, because I can't stand the thought of losing you. You should have thought about that before you slept with my fiancé. I know. I know, you're right. I messed up. I messed up so badly, and I don't know how to fix it. You can't fix it, Emma. Can't you at least try to understand? It wasn't planned. It wasn't some scheme. It just happened. Stop saying it just happened. It didn't just happen. You made a choice. Every time you were with him, you made a choice. Every time you looked me in the eye and lied to me, you made a choice. She started crying. I never wanted to hurt you, but you did it anyway. Just like Daniel, I love him, Claire. Those 4 words hit me harder than anything else she could have said. What? I love him. I didn't mean to. I fought it, but I do. How long have you loved him? I don't know. A while, since I started dating him. She didn't answer, Emma. Since I started dating him, maybe. I don't know. It's complicated. I laughed, actually laughed. It was a bitter, broken sound, but I couldn't help it. You've been in love with my boyfriend, my fiancé, for 3 years, and you never said anything. You helped plan my wedding to him while secretly sleeping with him. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? I tried to stay away from him. I did, but the more time we spent together, the harder it got. And then one night we kissed. And everything changed. Get out. Claire, get out of my apartment. Please, I can't lose you. You're my best friend, my sister. We can work through this. I walked to the door and opened it. If you don't leave right now, I'm going to say things I can't take back. She stood there for a moment, tears streaming down her face. And then she left. I closed the door and locked it, and I stood there, breathing hard, my hands shaking. And that's when it started. That cold, patient thing that had been whispering in the back of my mind since the night I caught them. It started to take shape, started to form a plan. I didn't want to hurt them. I wanted to destroy them, but I wanted to do it slowly, carefully. I wanted them to feel exactly what they'd made me feel. I spent the next 2 weeks moving out of the apartment. Raxel helped, so did a few other friends who'd heard what happened. Everyone was furious on my behalf. Everyone wanted to know what I was going to do. I told them I was focusing on healing, on moving forward, on letting go, but that wasn't true. I was planning. I started paying attention. Watching, I didn't contact Daniel or Emma, but I followed them online. I watched their social media. I saw the way they were trying to be discreet, no public photos together, no relationship status updates. They were waiting for enough time to pass before they could go public without looking like the bad guys. But I noticed something else. Emma had started posting more about self-care, about healing, about how hard life can be and how important it is to forgive yourself. She was rewriting the narrative, making herself the victim, and people were buying it. Friends who didn't know full story were leaving supportive comments. You're so strong. Proud of you for choosing happiness. It made me sick. In mid-May, about 3 weeks after everything fell apart, I got a message from a mutual friend, Sarah. She'd been a bridesmaid. Hey, I just wanted to check in. How are you holding up? I'm okay, taking it day by day. I heard about Daniel and Emma. I'm so sorry, thank you. Can I ask you something? Sure. Are you going to the memorial thing for Ez Patterson? Ez Patterson had been our high school English teacher. She'd passed away the week before. There was a memorial service that weekend. I don't think so, I typed. I don't think I'm ready to see people yet. Emma's going. I stared at the message. Is she? Yeah, she posted about it, said Ez. Patterson meant a lot to her, and she wants to pay her respects. Of course she did. Emma loved being seen as the good person, the caring person. Actually, I think I will go, I typed. Ez. Patterson was important to me too. I went to the memorial. I wore black. I kept my head down. I spoke to a few people, but mostly I just observed, and I watched Emma. She was there with a group of old classmates, talking quietly, wiping away tears, playing the part perfectly. At one point she saw me. Our eyes met across the room. She looked like she wanted to come over. I turned away. After the service, I was walking to my car when I heard my name. Claire, wait. I turned. Emma was hurrying toward me. Can we please talk? There's nothing to talk about. There's everything to talk about. I miss you. I know I don't have the right to say that, but I do. You miss me, yes, while you're sleeping with my ex-fiancé. It's not like that. Then what's it like, Emma? Explain it to me. She looked around, making sure no one was listening. Can we go somewhere private? No. Fine, then I'll say it here. I love you, Claire. You're my best friend, and yes, I love Daniel too. I know that's confusing and wrong and messed up, but it's the truth, and I hate that I hurt you. I hate it more than anything, but I can't change what happened. All I can do is try to make it right. You can't make it right. I know, but I want to try. I want us to get through this, to heal, to find a way back to each other. I stared at her, and I realized something. She genuinely believed what she was saying. She genuinely thought that somehow we could all move past this. That I would forgive her, that we could be friends again, maybe not right away, but eventually. She thought I was that weak, that forgiving, and that's when I knew exactly how to hurt her. Okay, I said, okay, let's try. Her whole face lit up. Really, I'm not saying I forgive you. I'm not saying everything's fine, but I'm willing to try to move forward for both our sakes. She actually hugged me. I let her, and over her shoulder I smiled, not a happy smile, a different kind. The next few weeks were strange. Emma and I started talking again, slowly at first, just texts here and there. How are you? I'm okay. How are you? Better now that we're talking. Then phone calls. Short ones, careful ones, dancing around the big topics. And then, in early June, she asked if I wanted to get coffee. I said yes. We met at the same cafe where ID met Daniel. She looked nervous. Thank you for giving me another chance, she said. I'm not promising anything. I'm just trying. I know, and that's more than I deserve. We talked about safe things. Work, her family, the weather, and then she said something that changed everything. Daniel and I are taking things slow. We're not rushing into anything. We want to be respectful of you and of what happened. That's good, but she hesitated. Eventually, we're going to go public. We're going to have to tell people we're together. I understand. You do. Emma, I can't control what you do. I can only control how I react to it. She looked relieved. I was so worried you'd be upset. I'm not happy about it, but I'm trying to accept it. You're really incredible, Claire. You know that. I smiled. I'm trying to be. Over the next few weeks, Emma and I continued rebuilding our friendship, or at least she thought we were. In reality, I was gathering information, little details about her and Daniel, where they were in their relationship, what their plans were, and then in late June, she told me something that made my heart race. Daniel's going to propose. What? He's going to propose to me. He told me last night. He said he knows it's soon, but he loves me and he doesn't want to wait. When? He's planning something for August. He wants to do it before his company's big retreat in September. August. 2 months away. I smiled and congratulated her. I told her I was happy for her. I told her she deserved it. And I meant every word, because now I knew exactly what I had to do. After Emma told me about the proposal, something shifted inside me. Up until that point, I'd been operating on instinct, anger, pain, but hearing that Daniel wanted to marry her, that they were moving forward like ID never existed, it crystallized everything. They weren't just moving on. They were building a life on the ruins of mine. And they expected me to smile and accept it. So I decided to give them exactly what they wanted. My acceptance, my blessing, my friendship, and then ID take it all away. But not yet. I had to be patient. Over the next month, I played my part perfectly. Emma and I talked almost every day. We even met for lunch a few times. She'd tell me about Daniel, about their relationship, about how happy she was. And I'd listen, I'd ask questions, I'd tell her how glad I was that she'd found someone who made her feel that way. She ate it up. She wanted so badly to believe that I was okay with everything, that I'd forgiven her, that we could all move forward like adults, and honestly, part of me understood why. Guilt is exhausting. It's easier to believe the person you hurt is fine, than to sit with the reality of what you've done. So I let her believe it. I let her relax. In mid-July, Emma dropped a bomb. We were having coffee, and she leaned forward with this excited, nervous energy. I need to tell you something, and you can absolutely say no. Okay, Daniel proposed last night. My stomach dropped, but I kept my face neutral. He did, yes. We went to this restaurant overlooking the river, and it was perfect. Claire, it was so perfect. Congratulations, thank you. And there's something else. She took a breath. We're getting married in October. I know it's fast, but we don't want to wait. We're not doing anything big, just close friends and family, maybe 40 people, October. 4 months away, that's really soon, I know. And I know this is asking a lot, but I want you to be there. I looked at her. You want me at your wedding? I know it sounds crazy, but you're my best friend, Claire. You've always been my best friend, and it would mean everything to me if you were there. You don't have to be in the wedding party or anything, just there, as my friend. This was it. This was the moment I'd been waiting for. I let the silence stretch just long enough to make her nervous. And then I smiled. I'd be honored. Her whole face lit up. Really, really, you're right. You're my best friend. And if this is what makes you happy, then I want to be there to support you. She started crying. Thank you so much. You don't know what this means to me. Oh, I knew exactly what it meant. It meant she thought shed one. The next few weeks were a flurry of wedding planning. Emma would call me to talk about venues, about flowers, about her dress. She'd ask for my opinion on things, and I'd give it, thoughtfully, kindly. I'd suggest vendors I'd researched for my own wedding. I'd help her navigate the stress of planning something so quickly. I became her confidante, her support system. She told me things she didn't tell anyone else, how nervous she was, how Daniel's family was being difficult because they thought the engagement was too fast, how her own mother had made a comment about how complicated the situation was, how exhausted she was trying to make everyone happy. And I listened, I sympathized, I reassured her, all while taking mental notes. In early August, Emma asked me to come dress shopping with her. I know this is weird, she said, but you have great taste and I trust your opinion. I'd love to. We went to 3 boutiques. She tried on maybe 15 dresses, and when she found the one, she cried. It was beautiful, simple, elegant, off-the-shoulder with delicate lace. What do you think? She asked, turning to look at me. You look stunning, really, really. She hugged me. I'm so glad you're here. I couldn't have done this without you. I hugged her back. And I thought about how easily people believe what they want to believe. 2 weeks before the wedding, I started making my own preparations. I reached out to some of the vendors Emma had hired, the photographer, the caterer, the florist. I told them I was a close friend of the bride and wanted to do something special for her. Something she wouldn't expect. They were all very receptive. Vendors love when someone wants to add something special to an event. I also reached out to a few of Emma's cousins, people I'd met over the years but didn't know well. I told them I wanted to put together, continuing, ein 55 video montage for the reception. A surprise for Emma and Daniel. Would they be willing to send me some photos and maybe a short video message? They all said yes. Everyone loves being part of a surprise. I spent hours going through old photos. Photos of me and Emma from over the years, Barcelona, college, that camping trip in Vermont, photos of me and Daniel. Our first date, the proposal, moments from our relationship, and I started building something, not a montage. Something else. The week before the wedding, Emma was a mess. She called me crying twice because things were going wrong. The florist had gotten the colors slightly wrong. Daniel's best man had to drop out last minute. Her mother was being passive, aggressive about the whole thing. I just want everything to be perfect, she sobbed. It will be, I told her. Weddings are stressful, but on the day, none of this will matter. You'll marry the man you love, and that's all that counts. You're right. You're so right. Thank you for being so amazing about all of this, Claire. I know it can't be easy. I just want you to be happy, and I meant it. I wanted her to be happy for one perfect day before I took it all away. The night before the wedding, Emma called me one last time. I can't believe it's actually happening, she said. Are you nervous? Terrified, but in a good way. Daniel and I were just talking about how lucky we are. How grateful we are for the people in our lives who've supported us. You deserve it. Thank you for everything, for being here, for forgiving me. I don't think I could have gotten through this without you. That's what friends are for. After we hung up, I sat in my apartment and looked at everything I'd prepared. The video file on my laptop, the USB drive, the printed instructions for the of Guy, and I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction. No doubt, just a calm, cold certainty. They'd made their choices. Now they'd live with the consequences. The wedding was at a small vineyard about an hour outside the city. 40 guests, intimate and elegant. I arrived early, wearing a simple navy dress, my hair pulled back. I looked polished, appropriate, friendly. Several people came up to me. Claire, it's so good to see you. How are you holding up? You're so brave for being here. I smiled and thanked them and said all the right things. Emma saw me during the cocktail hour before the ceremony. She looked radiant in her dress, her makeup perfect, her hair in soft waves. You came, she said, hugging me. Of course I came. I'm so nervous. You're going to be amazing. Daniel saw me too. He looked uncomfortable. We made eye contact across the room, and he gave me this awkward nod. I smiled and nodded back. The ceremony was outside, overlooking the vineyard, rows of white chairs, an arch covered in flowers. It was beautiful. I sat in the back, and I watched as Emma walked down the aisle, watched as Daniel took her hands, watched as they exchanged vows, promising to love each other forever, to be faithful and true, to honor and cherish. And I didn't feel anything. They kissed, everyone clapped, and they walked back down the aisle as husband and wife. The reception was in a barn that had been converted into an event space. String lights, long tables. Candles everywhere, dinner was served, speeches were made. Daniel's brother talked about how happy he was to welcome Emma into the family. Emma's maid of honor, her cousin Rakshal, told a sweet story about growing up together. Everyone laughed and cried in all the right places. And then, as dessert was being cleared, the DJ announced there would be a special video presentation. Emma looked confused. What video? Daniel shrugged. The lights dimmed. The screen at the front of the room flickered on. And my video began to play. It started innocently enough. Photos of Emma and Daniel together, smiling, happy. Set to a romantic song. People awed. Emma was crying, her hand over her mouth, and then the music stopped. The screen went black, and then a new image appeared, a screenshot of a text conversation between Daniel and Emma. From January, before they'd officially started their affair, Daniel, I can't stop thinking about you. Emma, we can't do this. She's my best friend. Daniel, I know, but I can't help how I feel. The room went silent. Emma's face went white. More screenshots appeared, their messages to each other. Planning when to meet up. Daniel saying he'd tell me he had to work late. Emma talking about how guilty she felt but how she couldn't stay away. One message from Emma said, "Do you think she suspects?" Daniel's response, "No, she trusts us." The room was dead silent now. People were looking at each other, confused, horrified. Emma stood up, turn it off, but the video kept playing. More messages. Daniel, we should tell her. Emma, not yet, not until after the wedding. It will be easier that way. Daniel, you're right. And then came the photos. Not inappropriate ones, nothing explicit. Just photos I'd found on Emma's laptop when Shed asked me to help her upload some wedding documents. Photos Shed never posted publicly. Photos of her and Daniel together during those 3 months when I'd thought everything was fine. Kissing, holding hands, looking at each other the way I thought Daniel only looked at me. And under each photo, ID added the date, showing exactly how long it had been going on while they were both lying to my face. The video ended with one final message. Words ID typed myself, appearing on the screen in simple white text. Some love stories are built on lies. Congratulations on yours. The lights came back on. Emma was crying hysterically. Daniel was staring at the screen in horror. Half the room was in shock. The other half was murmuring, whispering, pulling out their phones. Emma's mother stood up and walked out. Daniel's brother was staring at him with disgust. I stood up from my table in the back. Every eye in the room turned to me. Emma looked at me, tears streaming down her face. How could you? I picked up my purse. You asked me to be here for your special day. I just wanted to make sure everyone knew the real story. You're a monster, I looked at her. This woman had been my best friend for 16 years, had held my hand through my darkest moments, had promised to stand beside me at my wedding, and had destroyed me without a second thought. No, I said quietly. I'm just done being the only honest person in this room. I walked out. Behind me, I could hear shouting. Crying chaos, I got in my car and drove away, and I didn't look back. I didn't go home right away. I just drove with no destination in mind, watching the vineyard disappear in my rearview mirror. My hands were steady on the wheel, my breathing was calm. ID expected to feel something, satisfaction, vindication, maybe even regret, but I felt nothing. Just that same cold emptiness I'd been carrying since the night I caught them. I ended up at a rest stop about 2 hours away, parked under a flickering streetlight, sat there in the darkness, staring at my phone. 53 notifications, texts, calls, voicemails. I scrolled through them without opening any. Rakshal, Emma's cousin, had given a speech at the wedding. What the hell did you do? Sarah, my old friend. Claire, are you okay? What happened? My sister, call me now. Unknown numbers. Probably people from the wedding had gotten my information somehow. I turned my phone off and I sat there in silence. The truth is, I'd been planning that moment for months. Every detail had been carefully constructed. The timing, the content, the delivery, I'd known exactly what would happen, the shock, the humiliation. The complete destruction of what was supposed to be Emma's perfect day. I'd wanted her to feel what I felt. That moment when your entire reality shatters. When you realize the people you trusted most have been betraying you. When you understand that everything you believed was a lie. ID wanted her to experience that in front of everyone she loved. And ID succeeded, but now, sitting alone in a rest stop parking lot, I had to ask myself something. Was it worth it? I still don't know the answer to that question. I drove home around midnight. My apartment was dark and quiet. ID moved into a new place after leaving the one ID shared with Daniel. Something smaller, something that was just mine. I poured myself a glass of wine, sat on my couch, turned my phone back on. 107 notifications now. I scrolled through them slowly this time. Some were exactly what I expected. Angry messages calling me cruel, vindictive, unhinged. Messages telling me I'd ruined a beautiful moment, that I should be ashamed, that what I did was unforgivable. But others were different. I had no idea. I'm so sorry for what they did to you. You had every right to expose them. I would have done the same thing. People taking sides, creating narratives, deciding who was the villain and who was the victim, as if any of us were that simple. There was one voicemail from Emma. I almost didn't listen to it, but curiosity got the better of me. I pressed play. Claire, her voice was broken, raw from crying. I don't even know what to say. You humiliated me. You humiliated Daniel. You ruined our wedding, our marriage, everything. And for what? To make yourself feel better, to get revenge. Was it worth it? It was destroying us worth it. A long pause. I know I hurt you. I know what we did was wrong, but this is worse. This is cruel. You made everyone think I'm some kind of monster. You made my family hate me. You made Daniel's family hate both of us. You destroyed us in front of everyone we love. Her voice cracked. I thought we were friends. I thought you'd forgiven me. I trusted you, and you used that to hurt me in the worst way possible. Another pause. I hope you're happy. I hope this was everything you wanted it to be. The message ended. I deleted it. And I poured another glass of wine. The next few days were strange. I didn't leave my apartment. I called in sick to work. I ignored most of my messages, though I did respond to my sister and a few close friends to let them know I was okay. The story had spread, not publicly, not online, but through the grapevine of mutual friends and acquaintances. Everyone had an opinion. Some people thought I was justified. Some thought I'd gone too far. Some thought Emma and Daniel got what they deserved. Some thought I was just as bad as they were. I didn't care about any of it. On the fourth day, Daniel showed up at my apartment. I looked through the peephole and saw him standing there, hands in his pockets, looking exhausted. I almost didn't open the door. But something made me do it anyway. What do you want to talk? We have nothing to talk about. Please, Claire, just 5 minutes. I stepped aside and let him in. He walked into my living room and stood there awkwardly, like he didn't know what to do with his hands. Say what you came to say. He turned to look at me. Why did you do it? You know why, to hurt us, to show everyone who you really are. We never claimed to be perfect, Claire. We made mistakes, we hurt you, we know that. But what I did was tell the truth, that's all. I didn't make anything up. I didn't exaggerate. I just showed everyone what you'd been hiding. You wanted to destroy us. You destroyed me first. He was quiet for a moment. Fair enough, he said finally. But where does this leave us? Where does this leave any of us? I don't care where it leaves you. Emma's a mess. She can't stop crying. Her family won't talk to her. My family is furious. Her cousin Rakshal told her she's ashamed to be related to her. Do you have any idea what you've done? Yes. And you don't feel bad about it at all, should I? He stared at me. I thought I knew you, but I guess I never did. That makes 2 of us. He shook his head. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry for lying to you. I'm sorry for everything. I wish I could take it back, but you can't, no. I can't, then we're done here. He looked like he wanted to say something else, but instead he just nodded and left. I locked the door behind him and sat back down on my couch, and I still felt nothing. Weeks passed. I went back to work. People at the office had heard what happened. Some of them gave me sympathetic looks. Others avoided me. I didn't care. I focused on my job, went home, and kept to myself. I stopped checking my phone as obsessively. The messages had slowed down anyway. People had moved on to other drama, other stories. I'd become old news. In late October, about a month after the wedding, my sister called me. How are you doing? I'm fine. Are you really? Yes, I talked to Mom. She's worried about you. She doesn't need to be. Claire, what you did to Emma, I don't want to talk about it. You have to talk about it. You can't just pretend it didn't happen. I'm not pretending anything. I did what I did. It's over, is it though? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like you're just sitting in your apartment, shutting everyone out, refusing to process any of this. I've processed it, have you? Because revenge doesn't heal you, Claire. It doesn't make the pain go away. It just makes you someone you probably don't want to be. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm worried you've become so focused on hurting them that you've forgotten to heal yourself. I'm fine. You keep saying that. But I don't believe you. We were both quiet for a moment. Do you regret it? She asked. I don't know. That's the first honest thing you've said to me in weeks. I'm hanging up now. Claire, I ended the call, but her words stayed with me. Had I become someone I didn't want to be, had I let my need for revenge consume me to the point where I'd lost myself, I didn't have an answer. In November, I ran into Sarah at a coffee shop. She saw me first and came over to my table. Hey, Hey, can I sit? Sure, she sat down across from me, holding her latte. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been busy, right? We sat in awkward silence for a moment. I wanted to tell you something, she said finally. Okay, Emma and Daniel are getting divorced. I looked up at her. What? They're getting divorced? It's been less than 2 months, and they're already done. Apparently, after the wedding, things just fell apart. His family won't talk to them. Her family is barely speaking to her. They've been fighting constantly. And last week, Daniel moved out. I didn't know what to say. I thought you should know, Sarah continued, since you were the catalyst for all of this. I didn't make them get married, no. But you made sure their marriage was doomed from the start. They did that themselves, maybe, but you drove the final nail in the coffin. She took a sip of her coffee. Was it worth it, Claire? Destroying them. Are you happy now? I looked at her. No, am not happy, but I wasn't happy before either. At least now, they know what it feels like to be destroyed by someone you trusted. Yes, she nodded slowly. I hope you find peace someday. I really do, because this isn't peace. This is just you drowning in the same pain they caused you. She stood up and left, and I sat there alone, staring at my coffee, wondering if she was right. The holidays came and went. I spent Thanksgiving with my sister and her family, Christmas alone in my apartment, New Year's Eve watching movies and drinking wine by myself. People kept asking if I was okay. I kept saying yes, but truth was, I didn't know. I'd gotten my revenge. I'd exposed Emma and Daniel for who they really were. I'd destroyed their perfect day, their marriage, their reputations. I'd won, but it didn't feel like winning. It felt empty. In January, I got a letter in the mail from Emma. I almost threw it away without reading it, but something made me open it. The letter was handwritten, 3 pages. Dear Claire, I don't know if you'll read this. I don't know if you care, but I need to say it anyway. I'm sorry. I know I've said that before, but I mean it more now than I ever have. I'm sorry for betraying you. I'm sorry for lying to you. I'm sorry for falling in love with Daniel when I should have stayed away. I'm sorry for every choice I made that hurt you. You were my best friend, my sister, and I destroyed that. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even expect you to read this whole letter. But I want you to know that what you did at my wedding, as painful as it was, made me see things clearly for the first time. You were right about everything. Daniel and I built our relationship on lies and betrayal. We told ourselves it was love, that it was real, that it was worth it. But it wasn't. It was toxic from the start. We're divorced now. I don't know if you heard. It's been messy and awful, and I'm back living with my parents at 30 years old. My family barely speaks to me. My friends have chosen sides. My life is a mess, and I deserve all of it. But here's what I've realized. You deserve better than this too. You deserve better than to carry this anger and pain around forever. You deserve to heal and move on and find happiness again. I hope you do. I hope someday you can let go of what we did to you and build a life that makes you happy. I'm sorry for everything, Claire. I always will be. Emma, I read the letter 3 times, and then I folded it up and put it in a drawer. I didn't respond, but I thought about it. Thought about forgiveness and healing and whether any of this had been worth it. I still don't have an answer. Spring came quietly. The city started to warm up. Trees bloomed. People shed their heavy coats and started smiling again. Life continued the way it always does, indifferent to personal tragedies and private wars. I'd been going to therapy, not because I wanted to, but because my sister had threatened to stop speaking to me if I didn't at least try. You need to talk to someone, Shed said. Someone who isn't me or mom or one of your friends who'll just tell you what you want to hear. So I found a therapist, Morrison, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes and a way of asking questions that made you uncomfortable in the way you needed to be. In our first session, she asked me to tell her what brought me in. I told her the whole story, the betrayal, the planning, the wedding, the aftermath. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was quiet for a moment. How do you feel about what you did? I don't know, that's fair, but I want you to think about it, really think about it, not what you should feel. Not what other people think you should feel. What do you actually feel? I sat with that question for a long time. Empty, I said finally. I feel empty. Can you tell me more about that? I thought I'd feel satisfied or vindicated, or at least like I'd gotten closure, but I don't feel any of that. I just feel like I've been hollowed out. Do you regret what you did? I don't know. Sometimes I think yes. Sometimes I think no. Mostly I just feel tired. Tired of what? Of carrying this, of being angry. Of being the person who did that. Who is the person who did that? I looked at her, someone I don't recognize. Over the following weeks, Morrison helped me unpack everything. Not just what Emma and Daniel did to me, but what I'd done in response. Revenge is interesting, she said in one session. It promises us relief. It tells us that if we can just make the other person hurt the way we've been hurt, we'll feel better. But that's rarely how it works. Why not? Because revenge doesn't heal the wound. It just creates a new one. And often we end up hurting ourselves more than we hurt them. But they deserved it. Maybe they did. I'm not here to judge what they deserved. I'm here to help you figure out what you need. And I don't think revenge was what you needed. Then what did I need? That's what we're here to figure out. It wasn't easy. Therapy never is. There were sessions where I cried. Sessions where I got angry. Sessions where I wanted to walk out and never come back. But I kept going, and slowly, very slowly, things started to shift. I started to see that what I'd done at Emma's wedding wasn't just about her and Daniel. It was about every time I'd been hurt and stayed quiet, every time I'd swallowed my anger to keep the peace, every time I'd prioritized other people's comfort over my own. I'd spent so much of my life being the understanding one, forgiving one, the one who didn't make waves. And when Emma and Daniel betrayed me, something inside me snapped. I didn't just want them to hurt. I wanted to prove that I wasn't weak, that I wasn't someone who could be walked over, that I mattered. But in trying to prove that, I'd become someone I didn't want to be. Someone who could smile and hug and pretend to care while secretly planning someone's destruction. Someone who could sit through a wedding ceremony knowing what was about to happen. Someone who could watch another person's life fall apart and feel nothing. Do you think you're a bad person? Morrison asked me one day. I don't know, am I? I think you're a person who was deeply hurt and lashed out in the only way you knew how. That doesn't make you bad. It makes you human, but what I did was cruel. Yes, it was, and you have to live with that. Just like Emma and Daniel have to live with what they did to you. So what now? Now you decide who you want to be going forward. You can't change what happened. But you can choose how you move forward from here. In April, I made a decision. I wrote Emma a letter, not because she asked for one, not because I thought it would fix anything, but because I needed to say things that I hadn't been able to say before. Emma, I got your letter. I read it. I've read it several times, actually. I'm not writing to tell you I forgive you. I don't know if I ever will. What you did hurt me in ways I'm still trying to understand. But I'm also writing to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did at your wedding. Not because you didn't deserve to be exposed. Maybe you did, but because the way I did it was cruel. I planned it for months. I smiled to your face while plotting your humiliation. I watched you get married knowing what was coming. And I felt nothing when it all fell apart. That's not who I want to be. I was so focused on making you hurt the way you hurt me that I lost sight of who I was. I became someone I don't recognize. Someone I don't like. You broke my trust. You betrayed me in the worst way. But I broke something in myself trying to get even. I don't know if we'll ever speak again. I don't know if I want to. But I needed you to know that I see what I did. I own it and am trying to be better. I hope you're trying to be better too. Claire, I mailed the letter and didn't expect a response. I didn't get one, but that was okay. It wasn't about her anymore. It was about me. Work became my focus again. I'd been coasting for months, doing the bare minimum, but in late spring, I started to invest in it again. I took on new projects. I volunteered for assignments no one else wanted. I stayed late and came in early. My boss noticed. "It's good to have you back," she said one day. "Thank you. I don't know what you went through last year, and you don't have to tell me. But I can see you're working through it." That takes strength. I didn't feel strong, but I appreciated her saying it anyway. In May, I ran into Daniel, not intentionally. I was at a bookstore, browsing the fiction section, and I turned a corner and there he was. We both froze, Claire, Daniel, an awkward silence. "How are you?" he asked. "I'm okay." "You getting by?" Another silence. "I heard about the divorce," I said. "I'm sorry. Are you?" "I don't know." "Maybe not sorry it happened, but sorry for how it happened," he nodded slowly. "I saw the letter you sent Emma. She showed you." "She didn't mean to." "I saw it on her desk when I was picking up some of my things. I didn't read the whole thing, just enough to see what it was, and I think it took a lot of courage to write that. I don't know about courage. I just needed to say it. Still, we stood there for a moment, two people who used to know each other, now strangers. "Can I ask you something?" He said, "Sure. Do you hate me?" I thought about it. "No, I don't think I do, not anymore. I did for a long time. But hate is exhausting. I'm tired of being exhausted. Me too." He shifted his weight. "For what it's worth, I am sorry. Genuinely, I know I said that before, but I mean it. What Emma and I did was wrong. We hurt you in ways I don't think we fully understood at the time. I appreciate that, and what you did at the wedding, I get it. I don't like it. It was brutal, but I get it. I'm sorry for that too. Not for exposing you, but for the way I did it." He nodded. "Take care of yourself, Claire, you too." He walked away, and I stood there in the fiction section, feeling something I hadn't felt in a long time. Not closure exactly, but maybe the beginning of it. By summer, I'd started to rebuild. Not my life as it was before. That life was gone, but a new life, a different one. I made new friends, people who didn't know about Emma or Daniel or any of it. I took up painting. I'd always wanted to try it, but never had the time. I traveled, just small trips, a weekend in Boston, a week in Charleston. I started to remember who I was before all of this happened, and I started to imagine who I could become. My sister noticed the change. "You seem lighter," she said one day. "I feel lighter. I'm proud of you, you know, for doing the work. Thanks. Have you thought about dating again?" "Not really. I'm not ready for that yet. That's fair, but someday you will be. And when that happens, you're going to make someone very happy. I hope so. I know so." In August, almost a year after the wedding, I got a text from an unknown number. "Hi, Claire. It's Emma. I got a new phone number. I wanted to reach out because I read your letter. I didn't respond at the time because I didn't know what to say. I still don't really, but I wanted you to know that I read it, and I appreciate you writing it. I'm in therapy now too. Trying to work through everything. I don't know if we'll ever be friends again, but I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're healing. You deserve that." Emma, I stared at the message for a long time, and then I typed a response. "Thank you for reaching out. I hope you're healing too. Take care." I didn't save her number, but I didn't delete the message either. In September, I got a promotion at work. It wasn't huge, but it was recognition that I was moving forward, building something new. I celebrated with my sister and her family. We went out to dinner, and her kids made me a card that said, "Congrats, Aunt Claire." It was sweet and simple and exactly what I needed. That night, as I was getting ready for bed, I caught my reflection in the mirror, and I barely recognized myself. Not in a bad way. I just looked different, older maybe, tired in some ways, but also stronger, more myself than I'd been in a long time. I thought about Emma and Daniel, about the wedding and the revenge and everything that had happened after, and I realized something. I didn't regret it, not because it was right, but because it was part of my story now, part of how I became who I am. I'd hurt them, they'd hurt me, we'd all destroyed pieces of each other, and now we were all trying to pick up the pieces and build something new. Maybe that's all any of us can do, make mistakes, hurt people, get hurt, and then try to be better. I turned off the light and climbed into bed, and for the first time in over a year, I fell asleep without thinking about them at all, because my life wasn't about them anymore. It was about me, and I was finally ready to live it. The question of whether revenge was worth it still lingers. Some days I think yes, some days I think no, but mostly I think it's the wrong question. The right question isn't whether it was worth it. The right question is, what did I learn? And the answer is this: I learned that revenge doesn't heal you, that destroying someone else doesn't put you back together, that being right doesn't mean you've won. I learned that betrayal changes you, but it doesn't have to define you. That forgiveness isn't about them, it's about you. And that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let go. I learned that I'm capable of cruelty, that there's a darkness in me I didn't know existed. But I also learned that I'm capable of change, of growth, of choosing to be better. Emma and Daniel taught me what betrayal feels like, but I taught myself what healing looks like, and in the end, maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all any of us can ask for, to survive the worst moments of our lives, and to come out the other side still standing, still breathing, still capable of hope. I don't know if Emma and Daniel are happy now. I don't know if they think about me. I don't know if they regret what they did, or if they've moved on completely. And the truth is, I don't need to know, because my story isn't about them anymore. It's about me, about who I was, who I became, and who am still becoming. And that's a story I'm finally ready to write on my own terms.